Welcome. Thanks for tuning in. Mark here from Sparrow SOS. So we're out here in the foothills of the Canadian Rockies. We're just putting the Grylls Ultimate Pro fixed blade knife through its paces, doing some field testing. And I just picked this random piece of wood and see if I could chop it up and see how it handled. I just want to show you guys what it does. Now this is a bigger, heftier knife. It's got a little bit of weight to it. So that does come as an advantage sometimes. And I want to show you why here. So I like the minimalist approach because you don't always have your backpack full of goodies in your saw and everything else, although you should. But shit happens, especially in a survival situation. So I like the idea of a knife only survival, I guess a paradigm or philosophy. So whenever I can, I try to do as much as I can with just a knife. So in this scenario, if I want to process a piece of wood, the advantage of the heftier knife is you can use it almost as a hatchet. So I'm going to tell you right now, I should be wearing gloves right now, but I forgot them. So I'm just going to be extra careful. Always wear gloves. Anybody who's watched Season Alone, I think that's reason enough. People get pulled out for cuts and stuff on their hands when they should have been wearing gloves, and you know, good leather gloves might have made all the difference. So don't do what I'm doing right now. All right, so let's try it out. So what I do is I just grab it on the end of the handle, good firm grip, and I let the weight of the blade actually come down and chop it down like a hatchet would. If you guys can see this, there we go. Let's give it a try. It's a really dry piece of wood, so it is taking time, but it works. If this is the only tool you got, it'll work. And the nice thing about this method here, I basically work at it like a beaver would. What do I mean by that? Well, there you go. See, I just go all the way around. You don't have to go all the way through. You just chip a little bit on the outside, going all the way around. And all that's left is that center core. And oftentimes, with just a little bit of leverage, you can just snap it. Especially if you got two trees standing up that are close together like that. You can just jam it in there, use it as leverage, and just pop it. So just food for thought. It's a good little trick. Seems to work. Now let's compare with the Mora Bushcraft carbon. So I guess one of the advantages, depending on who you are and what you want to use it for, it's a smaller knife. It's much lighter. It takes up less space. And yeah, it's just it's more for all the users out there. So if you're female, if you're smaller hands, the Mora's got a nice little handle, small little blade. Doesn't take up much space on your belt. But let's see how it handles in a chopping roll. If this is all you got. Just don't mind me, I'm looking around because I am by myself in the foothills, and there's certainly big critters out here. So one thing I learned in the military: stop, look, listen, and smell. Often. That'll save your life sometimes. Alright, let's go ahead and try it out. So here's the Mora Bushcraft carbon steel. Let's see if we can make a cut all the way around this piece of wood here by chopping it. I'm I'm just working it side to side, just like I would an axe. So going in from this side and going in from the other side to create that V slot. I'm just going to do a little bit of that V slot all the way around. So, comparatively speaking, it's actually surprising, but it's working. It's working decently compared to the Bear Grylls, even though it's smaller and lighter. Yes, it is a pretty sharp blade. So, I mean, the sharpness of the knife is going to make a difference. So, even a smaller, lighter knife, if it's well sharpened, will cut through pretty good. Now, again, this is a dry piece of wood. If this was live wood, I could probably just force it myself with my body weight, just notch it from side to side. It could work with this, but just those dry wood, completely dry wood, it's a lot harder to do that than dry wood. So when I'm using completely dry wood like this, I like to use I guess my improvised hatchet, holding it by the end of the hilt of the knife, like I said, and just doing that chopping action from side to side. So it's actually surprising. This little Mora knife is actually doing a decent job, even though it's lighter. It's not what I was expecting. Let's do the back side now. All right, I think I have enough cut out that I can just break it. Yep. So there it is. So this one's the Mora. This one here. It's the Bear Grylls. So granted, larger piece of wood, slightly larger knife. But again, I think both does the job. Now, you might ask, why am I chopping this down into smaller pieces, or why would you ever need to do that in a survival situation? Well, if you only have a knife and you don't have an axe or a saw, you're going to have to use your knife to do everything. So basically your knife becomes your axe. So what I like to do is cut myself a decently stout piece of wood, something solid like hardwood if I can. Probably a little bit bigger than this. I would say maybe about that big, maybe what, 7-8 centimeters. And the advantage of that is once you have your little baton stick and your knife, then all you have to do is place your blade on the piece of wood and just strike the backside. Okay, so now you're using the baton to do the chopping away, so you don't have to do that little snapping back and forth using the weight of your knife. It's much more effective, and you can delimb a tree, a spruce tree, to get some spruce boughs with this. Again, we're talking about knife only survival here. It's not ideal, but if that's all you got, you have to improvise. And this is one of the methods where you can improvise to make it work. So there you go. We got a nice little baton here. It took us just a few minutes to make it. And from now on, anything else I want to chop, I don't have to use my knife only. I just use my baton. Right? it's much more effective. Okay, so a little discussion there. Just wanted to show you guys the difference. And yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. If you like what you're seeing, like and subscribe. We're going to be putting out lots of more content and testing out this Bear Grylls knife and this Mora knife, and in the quest for the ultimate student survival knife, issued knife. So help us out. Let us know what you think. If you got any comments, if you got any suggestions, anything else you want us to look at or try out, or even put the knife through, any kind of test you think would be valid, we're certainly welcome that. Okay, so thanks again for watching. See you later.